Good evening, everyone. The present day recruitment industry is candidate driven. Many recruiters consider candidate experience to be equally important as a candidate. Well, a lot of companies are spending a lot of money to streamline and automate the hiring process. But we cannot also refuse to know that there has been a lot of problems that recruiters also face, as it takes more than 45 days to close a job. But now, with this technology that we are using, it takes a couple of minutes. Well, good evening to everyone present over here. We are so excited to host our second webinar on this super important topic that we are conducting on candidate and recruiter experience. And today we'll be talking about how to enhance candidate recruiter experience with our HR technology. And someone who has spent a decade in this industry will be sharing his insights. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ridhima. So first of all, thank you everyone for taking out time for our quick little session here on enhancing candidate and recruit experience using Rchilli. So jumping straight into it, in this session we'll be covering a general overview of how recruitment works and in which stage of that process does Rchilli fit in. What is candidate and recruit experience? I'm sure most of us here are well versed with that. Why it matters, some stats along with that. And then we'll move on to what are some of the challenges that are commonly found when you talk about candidate and recruiter experience, and how is Rchilli helping to address those challenges and provide solutions along with it. And at the end, we'll talk about use cases, one case study of a customer and the sort of ROI they've seen by using our solutions. And then we'll open it up for questions. To start with, as a general overview, this is what a recruitment cycle looks like. There can be more steps to it, but overall it starts with a requirement that you need to hire someone. You post a job description online, you use job sites, aggregators, you use social media, you reach out to friends, you ask for referrals, and you do all of that so that you can find applicants. And then it comes time for them to apply to that position, and they go through the application process either on your website or they directly send in their resume, and you need to sort through those resumes, make sense of the unstructured data, structure it in a way that makes it easy for you to search through that data and find the best matches. And that's where the AI component comes in. A lot of companies use something in-house, a lot of companies use something third-party. And the third step is actually where Rchilli assists with our solutions of resume parsing, job parsing, and the search and match tech that we have. So once you have sorted through that data, you've shortlisted candidates, then you can go ahead and schedule interviews, take them through the rest of the hiring process that we have here. When we talk about what is candidate and recruiter experience, so from the first moment an applicant or a candidate lands on your website, on a company's page or a career page, or from the first moment they interact with the opening that you posted on a job site somewhere, or directly with one of the members of your recruitment team, that's where the experience starts. And it's very important to ensure that every step of the way, their experience is a smooth one, so that they're happy with the experience and they're more likely to complete that journey and end up being hired in the company. So it's a reflection of how someone feels about the application process in general. It might influence their perception of the company, and they might not even go ahead with the job that they applied for. And that's one of the reasons many of the applicants end up dropping before they actually get shortlisted and someone reaches out to them. And on the other hand, the recruiter experience, so professionals are trying every day to hire qualified candidates, either through direct applications on their website or when they work with a recruiting agency. And from the recruiting side, it's very important for them to be able to, one, sort through all of the applicants that have applied, and two, find the right candidates versus the specific role that they're hiring for. And if that doesn't happen, we can see consequences of that. So why this is important? Because if you have a good candidate experience, which means someone lands on your website, they apply to a position, and that's completed in 30 seconds. So they're more likely to tell their friends, their family about a good experience. And the same is true if they have a bad experience. So nearly 78% of them will tell their family, friends about a bad interview experience. And on the other hand, if you give them constructive feedback, if you have transparency in your hiring process and the experience that they have with you, they're 4 times more likely to accept the job offer with your company. And then we have 68% job seekers say the interview experience impacts their decision. So it's one thing to be able to attract talent. It's another thing to ensure that the talent that you have attracted ends up, accepting the offer that you give them. And you don't want people dropping off and refusing to join because their experience so far has been horrible. That's the last thing that we want to do. And then, of course, at this day and age, everyone will post about a bad experience on social media. That's just the way it is. So it's very critical for us to ensure that anyone who interacts with our job sites, openings, anything that we've put online to attract applicants, they have a positive experience with that. Because if we don't, we're going to end up, pushing away qualified talent. We're going to reduce the talent pool that we have to work with. It's going to end up costing us, money. It's going to end up costing us time. And for businesses that fail to fill jobs in the first month, there's a 57% chance that the position will remain open for 3 months. So those 3 months are, projects that are put on hold. You don't have the resources to bring in more revenue. So that's revenue lost. And additionally, by the end of next year, 85% of recruitment process will be automated with little to no human interaction up to the point of interviews. That's because of the sheer volume of applications that are coming in. So recruiters can't realistically spend 3 to 4 minutes simply going through resumes manually, because when you're looking at a resume pool of, let's say, 200,000, that's simply not possible. So you need a solution that helps you elegantly navigate the volume that you have in front of you, and also makes sense from a candidate and recruiter experience to make that a positive one. Some of the challenges that are commonly faced is, of course, manual data entry. So think back to the time when you applied for the position. For me, that was like 12, 13 years ago now. So when you apply to a position, you're presented with a form and it's like 3 pages long, takes you 15 minutes to fill out. And if for some reason it refuses to load after that, that's 15 minutes wasted of you trying to copy paste your resume information into a form. We don't want that. This manual data entry job can be done in like less than a second with our Rchilli's resume parser. And on the other hand, once you have that data imported, someone's applied to your job, you want the ability to screen those resumes as efficiently as possible. Like I said, when you have a pool of 200,000, 300,000 documents, you want an elegant solution that helps you to sort through that data. And that's where the Rchilli's search and match API comes into picture. Another thing that you want to avoid is inaccurate searching or missing fields in parsing. That's where it's very important to have a parser that's backed by intelligent AI. Make sure that there are as little mistakes as possible when the actual data structuring happens, and Rchilli can help with that. And at the end, we talked about poor candidate experience. That's another thing that it helps with. We don't want poor candidate experience. We want an experience that's positive and reflective of the organization that the person is applying to. And all of this leads to high hiring costs, because the longer a job is open, the more time people are spending filling out forms on your trade site, the less likely they are to complete the application, and that's going to end up costing you more. So all of this is addressed by Rchilli's resume parsing, search and match APIs, which fit seamlessly within your application process. And they take care of resume import, resume structuring, searching, matching, and giving you extra details about the person's skill set through our enhanced taxonomy. So let's cover a few key use cases and the benefits that Rchilli can give you. So like we talked about, easy candidate application. When you have the ability to upload your resume or email a resume, and in a matter of like 1 or 2 seconds, the entire process of extracting data, adding it to the web form and showing it to you on the web form, it's done. That is a good candidate experience versus copy pasting manually and filling out forms for 15 minutes. So then is candidate engagement. So if you make the application process easy and you help them to sign up and apply to a job, and at the same point, if you can then go ahead, capture their resume and match it against similar jobs that you have, and go back and tell them, hey, we see you applied to this position. Why don't you also look at these similar positions that we have for you? And you can even take it one step further. Some of our customers do this. They can also give you a score as to how well you've matched against those jobs, so that the candidate has visibility. Okay, this is how I rank against these jobs. Let me go ahead and apply to these ones as well. So that's another use case that you can bring in. And then we have easy onboarding. Of course, when you have a large database of resumes that you maybe purchased from a job board or somewhere and you want to import that, it's very easy to do that when you can bulk import resumes and parse them in seconds. And from the recruiter side, since we talked about both candidate and recruiter experience, when you have the ability to match resumes and jobs together, you can also go back and for the recruiter, tell them, hey, you were looking for this candidate, maybe they're not available anymore. Can we show you some similar matching candidates? So you can do a candidate versus candidate match there. And the same way, you can allow them to fine tune what sort of matches they see, what sort of weightages go behind the scenes to give them those matches. So they have full control and visibility on how the system matches and shows them results. All of this, the extraction, the matching, the ability to search, rank, along with score. It's backed by our custom-built taxonomy of skills and job titles. And as of today, Rchilli has the largest taxonomy, the most comprehensive one, because it not only gives you similar skills and similar job titles, it also gives you the relationship between skills and job titles. So what skill goes under what job title and the other way around. It also gives you the parent, child, grandchild hierarchy. And all of this is being utilized when we do resume parsing, searching and matching for you. So if we talk about one case study, Impress.ai, they're based out of Singapore. So they have a chatbot application. And their requirement was for their chatbot to engage the candidates by capturing information elegantly. So all they have to do when they engage with the Impress chatbot is upload a resume. That's it. As soon as they've done that, our resume parser is able to structure the unstructured data from the resume, pull out their work history, their education details, skill set, competencies, projects, pretty much everything that you need to fill out an application. And then the chatbot uses that information to personalize their experience of applying with that chatbot. The results they saw by doing that was an 80% increase in interview completion rate. So candidates who were dropping off because the process was too complicated or they just didn't want to engage in a 15-minute process, they ended up completing those application processes and they saw those numbers go up. So that's how they were able to deliver better value to customers and offer amazing candidate experience. So if you would love to do that, if you are looking for a solution that can help you improve the candidate experience in your application or on your career site, now is the best time to start because Rchilli provides an incubator program for any new customer who wants to try out our resume or job parser and the search and match engine as well as the taxonomy. You can sign up for one-time $150 sign up, gives you 1 year to use that account for development, for testing, evaluation, even live production environment, and you get 3,000 documents in that. So that is all that I had for you today. I know it was pretty crisp and short, but I'll open it up to everyone and we can help answer any questions that anyone may have.
And if you have any further questions, you can reach out to us on our LinkedIn page and or also on our website. And those who missed this, don't worry, we'll be sharing with you an email with the feedback form so you can tell us how we can make your experience more better with upcoming webinars that we are going to conduct in few months. So thank you everyone for joining us and please stay tuned as we further proceed and having more webinars for you lined up. Thank you everyone.